You are stronger than the OCD, but you just need to prove that to yourself more. OCD is so infuriating because it knows how to kind of use our weaknesses against us. And obviously that's because it's coming from us. Typically what it does is it kind of thinks about our morals, our perspectives. It thinks about kind of, where we're coming from in the world. And it likes to try to kind of use that against you. If you're a moral person, if you care about things or you care about people, it will use that against you. If you're somebody who likes cleanliness and orderliness, then it will use that against you. If you're somebody who thinks deeply about the world and existence, where we're coming from, it will use that against you. If you really care about your family, it will use that against you. It's so sneaky. It's so horrible because, it's kind of uses that one trick again and again and again. But it's successful at kind of using that. It knows that typically when things about those things that are important to you come up, when obsessions or thoughts or ideas that you really dislike come up about those things, that typically you feel that you have to do something about that you need to disprove it, that you need to have certainty about it. And it's so manipulative. It really does use that against us. But the important thing to remember here, that actually, you are stronger than the OCD. You do get to choose, whether you do those compulsions or not. And I think an important thing to think about here is, why you should learn to stand up to the OCD more. We tell ourselves that we're doing the right thing by thinking about this, because to not think about it, would actually lead to some kind of danger in some way or would be bad. And of course, sitting with the uncertainty about things that are important to us can feel really, really difficult. We can do it, but I think sometimes we need to really kind of reflect on why we should. And I think the reason why we should is because OCD, as we just talked about, is using these things in a sneaky way against us. And, typically, we do really care about people in our lives. We do really, want to be a good person. If you relate to this, I do now have a 12-week program to help you to break free from OCD. It's based upon my own personal experiences of struggling with these things for many years, as well as now having helped hundreds of people to break free. If you're interested in applying for that, you can by heading over to my website at robertjamescoaching.com and booking in there for a free discovery call. And if we want to be a good person, then we need to be present. We need to actually be in our lives. If we're getting caught up in rumination all the time about all of these things, trying to disprove them, the sad thing is it actually takes us away from the things in our life, our values, the stuff that we really, really care about, our family, our work, any hobbies that are meaningful and important to you. The very things that typically OCD will use against us to kind of get us stuck in the OCD cycle and overthinking, overanalyzing. Actually, by overthinking and analyzing, we actually get taken away from those things and we're not able to be as present with them anymore. And this is why it's so, so important that we don't allow the OCD to win, that we remember that we are stronger. And if we have that motivation, when we realize, okay, this is a bit of a contradiction here. I'm telling myself I really care about these things. This is why I have to disprove this obsession. But at the same time, when you're caught up for hours at a time trying to disprove it, trying to have certainty, doing rituals, it takes you away from that thing. And that's so, so sad. And so, if we're able to recognize that problem and that we try to kind of stand back a little bit, we try to take a bit of a deep breath and to recognize that within us is actually this inner strength that we have. It's there, just to kind of, arrive at this point where you are today of dealing with OCD has taken a lot of strength, because dealing with OCD is a very difficult thing. So, you are a strong person. And, I think that what we have to do is we have to kind of collect evidence prove to ourselves that, we've been able to overcome the OCD in the past, and therefore we're able to do it again. And really, you can do that by coming up with exposure activities, by learning how to let go of mental rumination, by practicing acceptance commitment therapy. Every time that we learn to let go of a rumination, for example, and that we come back to the present moment, maybe you've been thinking about something for hours, you're really trying to get certainty about it, but at some point you just realize this is just soul destroying. This is just breaking me. I hate it. I'm going to walk away from it, and I'm going to deal with the discomfort of that. Well, you're going to feel really powerful when you do that. Of course, it would have been better if you could have done it 2 hours earlier. But at any point that you actually managed to walk away from it, well, that's a win. And the more that you can do that, the stronger that you start to feel in yourself. And I think getting over OCD and building up that sense of strength and courage is really all about that kind of journey. It's demonstrating to yourself that you're stronger than you're actually giving yourself credit for. That, you really can, learn to walk away from these compulsions. And every time that you do, you realize that you are a bit stronger. So it can be really helpful as well. Something else that you can do to kind of build this sense of empowerment is actually to kind of journal each day. To write down 3 things that you've done each day that were successes with your OCD. Times where you actually did push back, where you got some success, that you showed the OCD that actually you're the boss. The OCD doesn't get to decide where you put your attention. Every single time that you do that is a win, and it starts to build your confidence. And now you're collecting evidence that, you can push back. And I think if we're journaling that and we're writing that down every day, that can really help with that process of recognizing, that you do have that choice. So I really hope that you found that helpful. If you have any questions at all about anything I spoke about today, please do let me know. And remember, I do offer a free discovery call. To get that, you can head over to my website, robertjamescoaching.com. And many thanks. I will see you next time. This video is for education only. It's not therapy or medical advice. If you're struggling, please speak with a licensed mental health professional.